you cannot really defeat that addiction until you die. You cannot stop discriminating people who are not perhaps from your culture or wherever and see yourself supreme to them until you have died to the old self. And Paul says that I've been doing it, I did it, but now that old person is dead. We are having Holy Communion today. Holy Communion reminds us that Jesus Christ has sacrificed himself for us. And it can't be in vain. There has to be evidence of that. And Paul is saying, as a result, by the way, when Christ was being crucified, Paul was definitely not the left person on Jesus' left or on his right-hand side. Obviously, he's using a metaphor here. He's using a metaphor of death to say that I have killed the old person. It takes determination to really change. It takes willingness for God to really reside in you and use you. And so when he says he's dead, he has succumbed. This was a very zealous person, and we've got plenty of zealous person in our church. The champions of the church, they carry this church. You understand? They own it, and they are doing God service, as they say. And Paul was one of them, trying to save God, saving God's church, only to find out that actually he was being pushed by the devil. And we have plenty of such in God's church, who think that they can control this church however they please. But he thought that it was God. But God would not use someone to prevent his church from doing what he intends it to do. Let's look at the motives with which we do things in God's church. Is it really wanting to do God service and to serve in his church? Or is it all about me? Let me be seen that I can be a better leader. Let me be seen. I can do it better. Is it about Jesus? Paul thought that he was doing God's service. But when he met Jesus, then he realized. You know, there are many eloquent speakers. In fact, we live in a generation where it's all about who's eloquent out there and who's got fans out there. Hey, invite that speaker, he must come here, and then that speaker comes. As if I'm jealous, I'm not. But then that speaker comes, and when he comes here, and then he says whatever he says, and then when he's gone, he leaves the people the same again. What's the point, really? No, we want that powerful speaker. He's got eloquence, whatever. He's speaking God's word to power. People getting God's word. Paul was one of those. But when he met Jesus Christ, that's when he realized real power. In fact, Ellen White says that, battles have been fought. World wars have been fought. But the greatest war that can ever be fought and conquered is the war of self.